When it comes to the NBA draft, it has never been an exact science. Too many times we see the best player in the class not go number one, whether it is due to team fit or incompetence from the front office. But regardless of which team drafts the best prospect, their franchise always benefits from a star acquisition. And in this video, we break down which NBA hopeful prospect have the best chance to be potential stars in the NBA in the 2021 NBA Prospect Big Board, where we don't look at team need, but rather the top 10 NBA prospects in the class that have the best chance to become stars in the NBA. Ranked as the 14th best prospect in the class of 2019, Jeremiah Robinson Earl led his high school Bishop Maggie in Roland Park, Kansas to 3 straight state titles before transferring to IMG Academy in 2018 and received great coaching even before making his college decision, being a part of 2 youth basketball FIBA gold medals. Committing to the University of Villanova as a 5-star recruit, Jeremiah showed an immediate impact on the Wildcat, finishing his freshman season with 9 double-doubles and earning Big East Freshman of the Year. With the tournament postponed in 2019, Robinson Earl returned for his sophomore year to show scouts the versatility he could bring to the next level. At 6'9", 230 pounds, Jeremiah is a strong rebounder, great finisher at the basket, and a constant offensive threat, shown by his sophomore production at Villanova, where he averaged 15 points, 8 rebounds, and 2 assists while shooting 49% from the field and 28% from 3. Many coaches have raved about his basketball IQ, as he was selected to be a part of the All-Big East Conference team during his sophomore year. Some of this credit should go to his father, who was also a collegiate basketball player as well, and has surely helped his IQ of the game. While still many question marks about his shooting ability and potential upside in the future, with his past experience and talent, it could make him a nice player for a championship contending team looking for veteran production to win now. Ranked as the 11th best prospect in the class of 2020, the California native Josh Christopher took his talents to the University of Arizona, where the Sun Devils were expected to do big things this season. After having 3 straight 20-win seasons under coach Bob Hurley and just barely missing the tournament last year, returning players and a strong recruiting class was supposed to propel the Sun Devils to the next level. Unfortunately, the season hasn't planned out quite how the Devils would have liked, as the pandemic has contributed to a 12-12 record on the season. Despite the poor record, Christopher has shown flashes of ability needed to take his game to the next level. At 6'5", 215 pounds, Christopher has great size for a guard that could be a handful when attacking the basket. As a freshman, he has become the second leading scorer on the Sun Devils this season, averaging 14 points, 4 rebounds, and 1 assist, while shooting 43% from the field and 30% from 3. His ability to create his own shot from the mid-range area can be a deadly weapon, but it can also be streaky. When locked in, Christopher can give you the two-way presence you want from a wing, but the weakness for him is staying locked in for long periods of time. While three-point shooting might also be a concern for Christopher, he is already a decent free throw shooter at 80%, so he could still develop to be a decent outside shooter if he puts in the work. Ranked as the 5th best prospect in the class of 2020, Scotty Barnes became a strong figure in the high school basketball community by making a name for himself in the various high schools in Florida. While starting at Newman High School in West Palm Beach, Florida, Barnes would attend 3 high schools in 4 years, transferring first to University School in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, where he would lead his team to the national championship final, but would fall short to Montverde Academy. Barnes would spend 1 more season in Fort Lauderdale before transferring for his senior year to Montverde Academy himself, joining another top prospect in Cade Cunningham to produce one of the more dynamic teams in the country in 2019. With the addition of Barnes, they would acquire a 25-0 record with an average margin of victory of 30, while the virus would put a pause to national championship dreams. Barnes' dreams to get to the next level were just beginning. Even though receiving offers from almost every school in the nation, Barnes chose to stay home in West Palm Beach and attend Florida State University, and has fit in perfectly with the Seminoles' style of play. At 6'8", 210 pounds, Barnes' length plays a vital part in playing and guarding multiple positions on the floor. His quick hands and natural instinct give Barnes the ability to impact the games in so many ways. At Florida State, Barnes has truly shown his ability to impact the game on both ends by averaging 10 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists, and 1.5 steals per game, while shooting 47% from the field and 26% from 3. He has been one of the keys for the Seminoles' success as they acquired a 15-5 record, tops in the ACC, with Barnes contributing as the team's third leading scorer and the team's leader in assists. His experience with the USA U19 gold medal winning team in 2019 has given him great insight in playing with and against some of the great players in his class. Even with Barnes' experience and talent, he still has many holes in his game, such as his poor outside shooting and free throw shooting. And even with additional work, Barnes may still have issues with outside scoring, but should still impact the game in many other ways. Ranked as the 4th best prospect in the class of 2020, Jonathan Kaminga burst into the scene his sophomore year at Our Savior New American School in New York, earning Max Prep National High School Basketball Sophomore of the Year. As a junior, Kaminga would transfer to the Patrick School in Elizabeth, New Jersey, earning the ranking as the #1 player in the class of 2021. Betting on himself, Jonathan would reclassify into the class of 2020, bypassing college, joined the NBA G League Ignite program, placing himself one step closer to his NBA dream. The 6'8" forward has not disappointed in his time with the G League Ignite, averaging 15 points and 7 rebounds while shooting 38% from the field and 24% from 3, becoming the 2nd leading scorer on the G League Ignite, while acquiring an 8-7 record and losing in the quarterfinals of the G League playoff. Kaminga was still able to show scouts plenty of what he could bring to the next level. His ability to be a constant offensive threat while still being one of the youngest players looking to be drafted gives him tremendous upside in the future. But Kaminga would still need to work on a few things in order to reach his true potential, such as his interior defense, shot selection, and free throw shooting, but should still be a great prospect to bet on to have a successful NBA career. Ranked as the 18th best prospect in the class of 2018, the native Nigerian Charles Bassey moved to the United States at the age of 14 to pursue his basketball dreams. At 6'10", already in high school, Bassey would dominate as a young freshman in high school, but recruiting allegations would arise, forcing Bassey to move to multiple high schools in order to become eligible. Despite the obstacles, Bassey was still able to be dominant enough to find himself playing for a Division I program in Western Kentucky. As a freshman, Bassey showed flashes of dominance with averages of 14 points, 10 rebounds, and almost 2.5 blocks on the season. Returning for his sophomore year, Bassey would see his season cut short by a tibia break and a Hilltoppers win versus Arkansas. He would play only 10 games his sophomore year, but would still average 15 points and 9 rebounds while shooting 57% from the field. Returning for his junior season, Bassey helped the team return to the top of the Conference USA standings, winning the regular season title in 2021, but would fall short to North Texas in the conference tournament championship game. Despite the disappointment, Bassey played well in his junior year, averaging 17 points, 11 rebounds, and 3 blocks a game, while shooting 61% from the field and 30% from 3. Bassey shows all the skills you would want from a successful big man at the next level, but his lack of exposure could weigh heavily to where he is drafted. Along with many teams moving towards smaller lineups, a lot of teams may pass on him in the draft due to these reasons, then regret it once he starts developing in the NBA. And we have seen this happen many times before in the NBA draft, most recently with the Knicks' late first-round pick Mitchell Robinson. Bassey could be next up to be that next surprise prospect in the draft. Ranked as the 13th best prospect in the class of 2020, Jalen Johnson burst into the scene during his junior season at Nicollet High School in Glendale, Wisconsin, where he would lead the Knights to a Division II title. Johnson would commit to play for the Duke Blue Devils, where he would show off right away the potential he could bring to the next level, with a 19-point, 19-rebound, 4-block performance in his very first game in college versus Compton State. Unfortunately, the Blue Devils season wouldn't go as planned, with Johnson choosing to opt out the rest of the season after 13 games. He would finish the season averaging 11 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists, a block, and a steal a game, while averaging 52% from the field and 44% from 3. While having a small sample size to work with, at 6'8", 210 pounds, Johnson already has great size as an NBA wing. But the struggle most teams will have when evaluating Johnson is his attitude and ability to overcome adversity. Leaving Duke early left tons of scouts and fans with a sour taste in their mouth. But this isn't the first time Johnson has gotten hate in his direction. Johnson has a chance to be a part of this group of talented prospects that were never able to show their full potential in college, but become stars in the NBA. Ranked as the third best prospect in the class of 2020, Evan Mobley was a beast in high school, earning the title of the two-time California Basketball Player of the Year. Mobley would stay in his hometown for college, attending the prestigious University of Southern California, becoming the highest-ranked high school player to join the program. And the 7-foot phenom would not disappoint, as in his first game, he would score 21 points, 9 rebounds, and 2 blocks, and would be just a taste of the impact Mobley would bring to the Trojans. Mobley would help the Trojans maintain a strong standing in the Pac-12, finishing the 2021 season with a 24-7 overall record, while the Trojans would lose to Colorado in the conference semifinals of the Pac-12 tournament. Mobley would play a large part in the Trojans' success during the NCAA tournament, as they would make their run to the Sweet 16. Mobley would finish the season averaging 16 points, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, and 3 blocks a game, while shooting 58% from the field and 32% from 3. While having all the tools to be the next great big man in the NBA, he will still need to work on a few things to reach his full potential, such as his outside shooting. But if Mobley chooses to be great, the sky is the limit. Since high school, NBA scouts have been drooling over the Montverde Academy product Cade Cunningham, as he led the team to a dominant 25-0 record during his senior season. And for the past year, many scouts have viewed Cade Cunningham as a far superior prospect in his class. As he chose to attend Oklahoma State University, this #1 ranking followed him, and he showed many people why he deserved this ranking by showing out in his one collegiate season with averages of 20 points, 6 rebounds, and 3 assists, while shooting 43% from the field and 40% from 3. Cade would have some phenomenal performances during his 1 year, scoring 40 points in one game and handing the eventual champion Baylor only their second loss of the season. At 6'8", 220 pounds, Cade is a matchup nightmare for opposing guards defensively, as he uses his size and strength to lock up his opponent, as well as giving himself to easy buckets. His fundamentally sound footwork and smooth, repeatable jump shot helps project him to be a great shooter at the next level, and he has already mastered many one-on-one moves to create his own shot. But many scouts have wondered if this shooting during his one collegiate basketball season has been fool's gold, as Cunningham's three-point shooting during his high school career wasn't always great. While Cade could have worked extremely hard to have an improved jump shot, his playmaking ability has also come into question during evaluation, as he only averaged 3.5 assists during his time with the Cowboys. While this could be a result of poor talent around him, his turnover ratio and inability to create a change of pace in the game could still be a concern moving forward. Cade has a laid-back, low-key, smooth demeanor off court, but on the court, he is a different beast. This could come to play in the future. He may put up the numbers, but doesn't have the same amount of flair as some of the other prospects in his class. This isn't necessarily a bad thing, as there are plenty of silent killers in the league, but it's definitely something to consider when looking at the next all-stars in the league. Ranked as the #1 player in the high school class of 2020, Jaylen Green has been a key figure in leading the next generation of the up-and-coming players. Green is a veteran when it comes to international competition, winning 3 gold medals with the USA Junior National Team, and his overseas experience in coaching has definitely increased his confidence and IQ of the game. While a dominant scorer all 4 years of his high school career, his senior season at Prolific Prep was his best, averaging 31 points, 7 rebounds, and 5 assists per game, while leading his team to a 31-3 record. While having a ton of college offers, Green chose to blaze his own path to the NBA by becoming the first in his class to announce his decision to join the NBA G League select team, the Ignite, where he would show many that he had plenty of game left for the next level, averaging 17 points, 4 rebounds, and 2 assists, while shooting 46% from the field and 36% from 3. After starting 4-0, Green and the Ignite squad had growing pains during the season, finishing with an 8-7 record. Despite the record, the Ignite would still make the G League playoff, where in a win or go home situation, Green was spectacular in the team's loss, scoring 30 points, 5 rebounds, and 7 assists. His intensity to be great and out of this world athleticism makes him the most dangerous scorer in his class. But it isn't just the dunks that makes Green such a dangerous player. Jaylen has the ability to use this athleticism on both ends, and with a ton in his bag on the offensive end, it is almost a highlight reel every time he touches the ball. But just like every other prospect in the draft, Green has areas for which he could improve, such as his passing vision, streaky mid-range shooting, and learning to finish with more finesse to avoid injuries. Green is already ahead of most of his class in creating a large fan base for himself, but like the ones before him, too much fame early can cause a prospect to become content. The more he focuses on becoming the best player he can be, the sooner his name will be heard in an all-star game. Ranked as the 6th best prospect in the class of 2020, Jalen Suggs started playing for Minnehaha Academy varsity squad as an 8th grader, averaging 17 points per game. When Suggs became a freshman and his growth continued, so did the team, as they captured a Class 2A state championship in his freshman season. The good times continued during Suggs' sophomore and junior year, as they would win 3 straight state basketball championships during his time in high school. But Suggs wasn't just dominating on the hardwood, he was also quarterbacking SMB Wolfpack to state titles his junior and senior year, earning honors as a dual threat in both basketball and football. With offers in both sports, Suggs decided basketball is where he wanted to spend his focus, committing to Gonzaga University, a school that has no football program, but their basketball success has been well documented in history. Joining the Zags in 2020, Suggs joined a veteran squad that were hungry for success after a canceled postseason in 2019, but no one expected an undefeated regular season. The Zags' undefeated streak would continue into the 2021 NCAA tournament, up until the national championship game against Baylor, where they would miss out on their chance to make history. While finishing off a great tournament run with winning a national championship would have looked great on Suggs' resume, he still had a phenomenal freshman season, averaging 13 points, 4 assists, 5 rebounds, and 2 steals a game, while shooting 50% from the field and 33% from 3. Jaylen would have some of his best performances during the biggest moments of the Zags season, like scoring 27 points against the number 3 ranked Iowa Hawkeyes at the time, or his overtime game-winning buzzer beater to beat UCLA in the Final Four. While having some amazing scoring moments, his passing ability and IQ of the game may be his greatest asset. He may not be the scorer, 3-point shooter, or even the athlete of some of the other prospects in his class, but his ability to do a little bit of everything could not only make him a triple-double threat in the NBA, but be a valuable contributor to impact team success. But what do you think, NBA fans? Who's on the top of your big board of the top prospects in the 2021 NBA draft? At me players on my Instagram at JLA Scouting. But until then, it's been your boy, Johnny Walker LA, and I'm out. Bow!